Our next story is about infant loss. It's a sensitive topic, so before we get to the report, we do want to let you know it's coming. A local bereaved mother is bravely sharing her story of a stillbirth quite far into her pregnancy. Along with her raw emotional recollection and vulnerability, we're sharing pictures of what she calls the worst day of her life. Pictures she provided us to share with you. We did check in with bereavement specialists at St. Alphonsus and also St. Luke's on doing this, and they support the decision. Still, we want to be sensitive to those going through loss and let you know this is happening ahead of time. Angelica loves the son she lost, and she's proud to tell you about him. So, in honoring Angelica, this experience, and Ezra, we are choosing to show pictures of his short time with her, including his face. In Idaho, about 1 in every 200 births ends in a stillbirth instead of a breathing baby to take home. This adds up to more than 100 stillbirths a year here, and this is the story of just one.
I had this bad feeling, just this pit in my stomach that something was going to go wrong.
An unshakable pregnancy premonition for Angelica Kovach, coming true at 33 weeks and 5 days.
The little placard that would have gone on his crib.
After her shift as a NICU nurse.
Was staying late to finish charting, was drinking cold water, and he wasn't moving, which is really unusual for him. That was when alarm bells started to go off in my head, but I thought that I was being an overly anxious, expectant parent, and everything was fine. And so, stupidly, I went home.
Still, nothing rouses Ezra. She returns to the hospital.
I thought I was going to go in and they were going to tell me that I was just crazy, and then they were going to send me home.
But test.
I wanted to believe that the Doppler was just not working.
After test.
He started the ultrasound, and you know how you can kind of hear that whoosh, 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 whoosh. I couldn't hear that.
Stoking Angelica's fear.
I kind of knew at that point that what he was going to tell me was not good. And then he put the wand down, and you could see tears starting to well up in his eyes. And he said, I'm so sorry. And he didn't have to tell me anything else.
A goodbye instead of hello.
This is the blanket that he was swaddled in when the nurse took him away.
Days of umbilical cord compression, cutting off his flow of oxygen.
When you lose a baby, you don't just lose a baby, you lose that future that you had envisioned.
She'll never know the color of Ezra's eyes, or if his hair would turn blonde like his dad's.
It was hard knowing that he wasn't living anymore, and he was still inside of my body.
So she goes through her planned C-section.
The bands that I wore that day.
A month early.
The baby bracelets that they would have given to us as parents. Not a lot of people realize that you still have to deliver that baby. So you still go through all of the same things that you would if you brought a living baby home.
Instead of sharing a lifetime with her son, only hours of still silence.
This is the blanket that he was wrapped in. So this one actually made contact with his body.
A box of mementos.
You ever see a bereaved parent being wheeled out of the hospital? They more than likely have this sitting on their lap instead of their baby.
And a teddy bear.
When I'm really missing him, I'll sleep with it.
Angelica says a version of herself also died that day.
You come home and you think to yourself, what's the point of me? What's the point of taking a shower or eating or drinking water?
But her desire to help others pushing her to continue.
This is the baby band that he actually wore.
Helping others recognize changes in kicks and movement.
Just go in. If you are concerned in any way, shape, or form about yourself or your baby, just go in.
Acknowledge their intuition and advocate for themselves and their babies.
Even if you can't really put your finger on why it is that you don't feel right, just go in, because that feeling of impending doom it's more accurate and more telling than any of us are aware of.
Also, helping loved ones support bereaved parents.
It never gets easier, and it's not like you move past it, because you carry that grief with you, but you carry it a different way. And sometimes it feels a little bit lighter, and other times it feels heavier.
Using her experience, she suggests avoiding platitudes.
One is, you know, they're in a better place, right? You're like, no, the best place for my child is sleeping in their bassinet next to my bed.
Says it's okay to not know what to say.
There are some people who like to fill the silence. Just know that you don't have to.
And reconsider that first instinct to give flowers.
I can't stand having flowers or people giving me living things as a present. Like if they give you a plant, like, here, take care of this plant. And I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't keep my son alive. What makes you think I can keep this thing alive? And inevitably it dies.
But show up.
Like if you had somebody who intended to come over and help you with laundry, they should still come over and help with the laundry, because I can tell you that 5 years later, I still struggle with, you know, regular chores and getting things done in a timely manner, because sometimes I'm just like, what is the point?
Take the initiative.
I've had so many people ask, what can I do for you? What do you need? I appreciate you asking, but honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what I need.
And if they have one, say the baby's name.
You don't have to say anything about it for me to think about it, because I am literally thinking about it every second of every day for the rest of my life. Having you say something is healing. It's acknowledgement.
Ezra Wild Kovach.
This is a tape measure that they used to measure him.
Born sleeping June 1st, 2020. If you're a bereaved parent and you feel comfortable where you are watching this right now, take this opportunity to say your baby's name. If you're a loved one of a lost baby, say their name. And to other bereaved parents, Angelica wants you to hear it wasn't your fault. On idahonews.com, you'll find resources, information, and more regarding stillbirth. And we want to again thank Angelica for sharing her very personal story with all of us. I've also put together a special on infant loss. You'll hear from bereavement specialists from St. Alphonsus and St. Luke's. It's going to air this Sunday at 7:30 in the morning and 10:35 at night.